Architecture is an evolving profession. Like all professions, it changes over time. It changes due to technology, but it also changes due to new materials. It changes due to new ways of understanding the field. We've asked Sarah Wigglesworth, architect from London, what is her opinion about the most important characteristics of an architect for today and tomorrow. Sarah Wigglesworth founded her own firm in 1994. She builds housing, libraries, civic buildings, many types of buildings, but she also teaches. She's a professor at Sheffield University. She seeks to combine research and practice, and especially is interested in the fields of new materials, uses of materials, and sustainability. Yeah, Sarah Wigglesworth, and we're recording in London. Sarah, I wanted to ask you, as you know, we're undertaking a MOOC, and architects think in a very different way from other professions. If you had to describe what is unique about the architect's mindset, what makes an architect unique as he or she approaches a problem?
Okay, well, in many ways I don't really see architecture as being problem solving. What I think it is it's about creatively taking a lot of issues which are culturally based essentially, bringing these strands together and then making a new insight as a result of that. And actually I think the main attributes that you need to do that well are you've really got to be interested in people, because architecture is really just the backdrop to kind of everyday life and work and all the rest of it, and it's got to facilitate social life, cultural life, a business life, whatever, a home life. So it has to make that work better and more pleasurable. And so being interested in people and what their motivations are and how they think and how they might behave or how they might want to inhabit somewhere is absolutely crucial, I think. I think you really need curiosity. I think you've got to be curious about humanity. You've got to, I think being interested in your surroundings, I mean being observant, looking at how it's been done in the past, and interest in where we've come from, where we might be going is all very good. I think curiosity is really important, because I think in all of these things you never want to take anything for granted, but you need to kind of do your research and then work out, right, what's the issue behind it, or what might my contribution to something that's already there be. So you're adding another layer to a kind of historical situation. And even a blank site is a condition, you know, it's got a history and a reason for being the way that it is, that you have to understand and tap into. So I think you've got to be incredibly intensely conscious of that sort of cultural backdrop as well. So of course you've got to be spatial, you've got to be, I think it does help to be good at drawing, actually, but I think it's by no means a barrier if you're not very good at drawing, and especially now computers are so prevalent and everything. But actually, to be, I think, truly creative, actually computers can be a hindrance, because they direct you towards a way of representing your ideas, which is very controlled by the software, but a pencil doesn't do that.
Do you think the architecture profession is changing or has changed from the models of the past, and where do you see the architecture profession going?
Well, architecture has always been changing, but I think there probably is quite a large shift going on at the moment because of technology. And I don't think that's necessarily a shift for the better, actually. I mean, I think what it's enabling is a massive distanciation from the site of production. I mean, lots of people would argue that it's not like that, that actually computers and software brings you closer to sites of production through sort of CNC, computer-controlled manufacture and all the rest of it. But actually, I don't find that, and especially not in the way that people think about architecture anymore. They feel, it's almost as if the computer is a kind of barrier. It's a cozy barrier, that stops you really interfacing with the real world. And I think that's a retrograde step, actually, and kind of goes against everything I've been talking about, which is that you need to be interested in people, ultimately. And it's very easy to just exist in a world of software where you don't ever have to kind of really deal with the outcomes of what you do. And I think you need to keep your feet firmly on the ground.
Would you encourage young people to go into the field of architecture?
No, that's a difficult one. I think it's a pretty tough career, actually, and especially for women, it's a very tough career. So I think you've got to be really dedicated and single-minded in doing it. And also, remember why. Never lose touch with why you went into it in the beginning, what really motivated you to do that, because it won't be easy. Lots of things aren't easy, and that's not a reason not to try, but you have to work out what's in it for you.